In Ontario, we're in the midst of a disaster. Every hour and a half, someone is dying from COVID-19. Our hospitals are on the brink of collapse. We've got 700 COVID patients in the ICU, and it's only going up from here. Many people have died, and many people will continue to die. And our government, the Ford government, has done nothing to address this pandemic. In fact, they've done worse than nothing. They've said that you're the one to blame. You who's going to get groceries. You who's commuting to work. You who's going to visit your friends after spending a year inside, or who's visiting a sick family member. You're the one to blame. And more than that, they're going to send the police after you. They're expanding the powers of the police. They're going to stop you. They're going to question you. They're going to ask you where you live. And they're going to treat you and other ordinary people like common criminals, while the real criminals get let off the hook. And you know who I'm talking about. The people who run our government are the real criminals. The people running our economy are the real criminals. The people who own these long-term care homes, which have led to thousands of our elderly dying for profit, are the real criminals. So this government has done nothing to address the pandemic. They've done worse than nothing to address this pandemic. And we know what needs to be done. Everyone knows what needs to be done. We need the paid sick days. We need the hazard pay for the essential workers, especially the nurses who are leaving the field. They don't want to work in these hospitals. It's like a war zone in these hospitals. They don't want to be there. They need more pay. We need to close the non-essential production. They're like petri dishes. Look at the Amazon warehouse. Look at some of these factories, the meat packing facilities. They need to close them and then pay those workers for the time off, but they're too cheap to pay, so they don't close them. We know what needs to be done. And I'll say it's not enough to put it in a statement. Anyone can put it in a statement. Statements are all well and good. We've had lots of statements, lots of petitions, but Ford isn't going to listen. He's not going to listen to that. We need to fight. We need to put real pressure on this government. We need action from the working class. And I'll just ask something. In this whole situation, where are our union leaders? Why aren't they calling for these things? Where are they? And I'll tell you where they are. They're sitting on their asses. They're sitting there like bumps on a log, doing nothing. Or worse than nothing. Just the other day, you had a statement from Smokey Thomas. He's a big president. OPSU, big union in Ontario. What did he say? He said we need to show Ford compassion. We need to be understanding. We need to be patient. And maybe he's going to listen to us. What a ridiculous thing to say. What in the past few years of Ford's time in office would lead you to suggest that he would listen to what you got to say? This man won't even listen to his own science advisors, his own advisors he's not listening to. And you think he's going to listen to you, Smokey Thomas? You're dreaming. He's not going to listen to you. He doesn't listen to working people. Newsflash. He listens to the rich and powerful, the rich people. That's who he listens to. No, the only thing he's going to respond to is force, is action from the working class, work refusals. The labor movement needs to say, listen, you're not going to shut down these petri dish warehouses. You're not going to shut down these factories and pay us for our time off. Then we're going to shut it down for you. You're not going to give us the paid sick days? No problem. Then you're not making any profits. Production isn't going to run until you give us the paid sick days, until you give us the hazard pay. That's what we need to do. We need to have a bit of a backbone. We need to have a bit of courage, starting with our union leaders. They should be leading from the front. They should be giving direction to the working class. Instead, they're sitting like bumps on a log, doing absolutely nothing. But this is what we need to fight for. Because the government has failed us. The corporations have failed us. Our union leaders are failing us. But only the working class can end this pandemic. Only the working class can save lives. And only the working class can save Ontario. So this is what we need to fight for. We need to fight for action. No more talk. We've had enough talk. We've had enough brainstorming sessions. We need action from the working class. We need to end this pandemic, and we need to save Ontario.